Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and after years of being asked about my healthy, shiny hair, I am thrilled to share my beauty secret with you. It's feminism.
Good, good, good. Do you see that stadium over there? If you just go straight into that stadium, that would be great.
The kids are natural.
A woman's right to become a kick-ass athlete.
Want to be a pilot when you grow up? Huh? Shame. Maybe in the next life, huh? Maybe in the next life.
The Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Restoration Act and more.
Allah! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Feminism is meant to be used on a daily basis and works best when shared.
This actually happened to my eldest son, who's in grade 8. He was in the schoolyard playing. A grade 1 girl walked up to him, slapped him across the head, and said, "You are not allowed to hit girls. You cannot hit me back." Mm-hmm. I'd like to...
Well, at least she was being honest. You know, and an adult woman who would do that would probably find a way to turn herself into the victim.
Women deserve a safe space on campus. Queer people deserve a safe space on campus. Trans people deserve a safe space on campus.
Groups exist because of that, right?
You mean enough? Why do men need a safe space on campus?
Why do men need a safe space? Because the very idea of an event where men are talking about men's issues in a non-sanctioned manner, then you have what happened at the Warren Farrell protest. I don't know if you watched the footage of that, right? But if I were one of the men who was trying to attend an event talking about male suicide and all kinds of other stuff, and I had some woman who knows she can get away with it up in my face calling me every name in the book, screaming at me, I don't think I'd feel very safe, right? Okay? And frankly, men are the majority of victims of public sphere violence.
I'm not saying that any of those statistics or male suicide, any of that stuff exists, because it does. Men are the victims of more workplace violence, workplace like suicides, low enrollment rates. That said, that's not systematic oppression in society.
Really? I think that when a 6-year-old girl can hit another child and get away with it and never ever have to suffer retaliation because he's a boy, okay? I think that's systematic.
How?
How? Because if the system intervenes and punishes the boy for hitting back, right? It's systematic.
I think that if we want young people to speak out and to feel comfortable expressing themselves, then what we need to do is make the internet a place where they can do so. That means bringing in sensible laws and training the police to deal with these kind of things. With this, we need straightforward training on when to act and when not to act, to make sure that the worst things, the rape and the death threats, the horrific harassment and abuse is dealt with. And I think that when we see a few high-profile individuals, perhaps including some in this studio, locked up, it'll be time for other people to back off.
Okay,
and I very much look forward to that day.
People can be made to feel victimised and very nervous and scared of the internet, whether that be men or women. But actually, I want to pull, and it's both kind of very pathetic view of how people deal with insults and words, because really most people, especially on Twitter, when they receive this kind of
rape and death
rape and death threats are bad, but when they receive this kind of rubbish on Twitter, they block or they ignore. And I really want to pick up on this idea that women,
please, Kate, let us.
It's very telling. That's kind of, this is what happens. Middle-class women decide that they want to take on the plight of women and that women are victimised. Women can't handle the internet. It's absolutely ridiculous and disgusting and sexist and patronising to say that women can't handle the internet. The internet should never be a safe space. The internet women should be able to experience everything about public life. We fought for that throughout history, and here's somebody who wants to shut us away from it.
You just yelled out that all of us were racist. And then you asked a question. And then you asked a question. And the question was? Why are there only white people on your campus? There you go. It sounded better when you were yelling it with a chorus of backdrops. Let me explain. Okay, can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Do you want an answer? Would you like an answer? Here's what's... No, you don't know the answer, sweetheart. Let me answer it for you. Listen, you have... Right here on this panel, you have a gay British Trump supporter, okay? You have a lifelong registered Democrat, open feminist, who's not a third-wave feminist, and you have a French-Canadian Christian conservative. So you may ask, why is there only white people? Because the only diversity you don't care about is that of intellectual diversity.
Right! Yes, yes!
Please be seated.
One second.
Please be seated.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the applause.
Mujeres!
Here is feminazi trading cards. You don't have these.
We're thinking about it.
Here it is from Russia's
Listen to this, folks.
radio program.
This
Just
is
a brief
great.
audio tape.
Tremendous stuff.
What? Listen.
I'll give you 2 glorious items for Anita Hill.
Trading cards have always been for males only. It's just not fair. It's not right.
Damn, I spilled nail polish on my Betty Friedan.
Well, EIB is proud to introduce Feminazi trading cards for you to save, to collect, to trade. Feminazi cards are designed with the woman in mind. On the front, an action shot of a leading feminist burning a bra, dominating a TV show, picketing an all-men's club, protesting a Rush Limbaugh concert, charging into a men's locker room, denouncing Ronald Reagan.
I'd do anything for Pat Schroeder.
On the back, all the vital statistics. Bustline, waist, hips, the documented age, the number of abortions, and where applicable, the alimony payments and divorce settlement.
Oh, no, they could have. And our wholly owned subsidiary, which will market them, is Ms. Carriage Incorporated.
Who's that Pokemon?
I do agree that there is stigma that I have to deal with because I am fat, but I'm actually really in celebration of my body. I find beauty in diversity. I think we come in all shapes and sizes. You must overeat. You must have an eating disorder. I know that not to be the case. I know you can have a healthy relationship.
Now, Mimi, you say this is misleading. Go have at it a little bit.
Well, I certainly think that we all want to feel good about ourselves. That's understandable. I don't think people should feel demeaned by their size. And I also couldn't agree more with the message of daily exercise. No matter what size you are, you'll certainly benefit from daily exercise. You can't be healthy without that. But then let's talk about where we disagree. Look, if you want to feel good about yourself, it's impossible to feel good about yourself when you're doing something that's self-destructive. Also, self-destructive behaviors that result in damage or debilitation or even disfigurement to the body, that's never going to be perceived as beautiful.
Is that I think that the Hayes approach, the health at every size approach, has been documented to work. And it's been documented to work year after year.
What do you mean work? What do you mean work? Because a health at every size is a lie. If you starve yourself into damage, that's unhealthy. Or if you eat yourself into damage, that's not healthy.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's just not.
Here,
that's not true.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's like saying
about
that.
Weight
let's
being
say you were a smoker. Let's say you're a smoker and have black lungs, and you try to say that's healthy because you don't have cancer yet.
Tonight, we're not pointing fingers at these kids. We say, Lord, we're the men. We drop the girls. And God, we pray for
assume that you're a cisgender straight woman because you obviously and that you probably haven't ever been raped either.
I actually identify
so
as an attack helicopter, so it's really offensive.
Hold up. Hey, for my niggas who be thinking we soft, we gon' play. We gon' rock it till the wheels fall off.
You're actually the only woman who's actually featured because guess what? It's a bunch of dudes.
and I do not appreciate that.
Did you just call me a woman? I'm legally a man.
Are you?
Yes. Sorry guys, there's only two genders, female and male. This is extremely controversial to say. Science and facts, extremely controversial. Jesus.
Oh my God.
I totally say it, that's not how it works. Well, you can't just withdraw consent the next, like. Oh, that's interesting. Why is that interesting? It's just, I don't know. No. Tell me.
Like a rally for like rapists, consent and like.
Okay, so if someone gives consent the night before, and then they have listen. If they have sex with a man and they give consent to him, then the next day decide, oh, I regret it. I'm going to report him for being a rapist, even though I gave him consent. You're saying that's okay? Just got roasted.
In your opinion, what's the cure to our westernized kind of idea that it's okay to catcall at women and that sort of thing? What is the solution in your opinion?
What is the solution to catcalling? Certainly not walking around in my underwear.
You know that less than 10% of rapes are actually reported.
Okay, where's that?
To the cops.
Where's that?
It's from all of the women's organizations. You can look it up online. You can find it through the socialized organizations that study rape. I participate with an organization that works as a rape crisis center. We base that on the number of calls. The police know, based on the unofficial reports, the third-party reporting, and the direct reports. This is not a secret that about 10% of rapes are reported.
So how do you know 10% of rapes are reported if the others aren't?
Because those people call the women's centers, they ask for help, they seek medical attention.
So they are reported.